Hi learners, how are you? I hope you all are fine and doing very well at your home. I am also very fine. Here I am Mujahidul Islam, back with modifier. Today's class is second lecture, one modifier. I would like to show you the rules of post modifier today. But before going to our lesson, I'd like to remind you that we are passing through a very crucial time because of coronavirus. Because of coronavirus, thousands of people are dying every day. In this situation, we must be very careful and alert. We must stay at home to stay safe. Now, let us go into our lesson. Today I shall show you the rules of modifier and the rules of post modifier and definitions of post modifier. In the previous class, you have learned details about modifier, pre-modifier, kinds of modifier, head words, and different rules of pre-modifier. Today, I shall show you different rules of post modifier. Before going to the rules of post modifier, let us learn what is post modifier. What is post modifier? Post modifiers that come after the head word are post modifier. Have you forgotten which one is head word? See the example. The children go to school regularly. Here regularly is modifier and go is head word because regularly modifier is used for the verb go. So go is head word and here modifier has come after the head word. That's why regularly is here post modifier. So I think it is clear that the modifier that comes after the head word, that is called post modifier. In B example C, Justin Bieber can sing amazingly. Here amazingly is modifier and sing is head word because this modifier is describing the verb sing and here modifier has come after the head word. That's why it is called post modifier. So I think what is post modifier is very clear to you now. Now we shall learn the rules of post modifier. We shall show the rules on infinitive, infinitive phrase, appositive, prepositional phrase and adverbs. Let us go to the rules. Infinitive. What is infinitive? Infinitive means using to plus verb. So when you will be asked to use infinitive, you have to use to and a suitable verb to complete the sentence. You have to use a relevant verb. You cannot use any absurd verb. You have to use such a verb which will help you to complete the meaning of the sentence. See the example. We go to college dash knowledge. So we can use as infinitive to acquire. So we go to college to acquire knowledge. To acquire is infinitive. If I use here, we go to college to play with knowledge. It is also correct. But this alternative answer because beside this is not acceptable. You have to use such a word, such a verb, which will help you to complete the sentence. In B number, I went to France, Eiffel Tower. So, I went to France, I can use here infinitive to plus verb to see. To see is infinitive. So, let us see. I went to France to see Eiffel Tower. Here, to see is infinitive. So, I think you have got clear idea about infinitive. Now, let us see infinitive phrase. Infinitive phrase is an infinitive phrase begins with an infinitive following by objects or complements. Here is also same thing. Infinitive and infinitive phrase. To construct infinitive phrase, you have to use extra objects or complements. To plus verb as an infinitive we are using, and to make phrase you have to use extra objects or complements to make it a phrase. Let us see the example. He went to England. He went to England why? To study advanced mathematics. To study is infinitive. To study what? Advanced mathematics. It is object. So, to study advanced mathematics, these four words all together makes here infinitive phrase. Without advanced mathematics, it will not be a phrase. In answer, you can write also this thing, to see Buckingham Palace. He went to England to see Buckingham Palace. So, to see is infinitive. Buckingham Palace is used here to make it a phrase. So, when you will be asked to use infinitive phrase, you have to use extra objects or complements after the infinitive to post modify the verb. So, I think you have understood it. Now, we shall learn about appositive. Appositive is a noun phrase. It is used just after the head word. So, you have to remember it that we use appositive after the head word. It gives usually introductory information about the head word. Let us see the example. Socrates lived in Athens. So, who is Socrates? You know who is Socrates, but maybe your students do not know who is Socrates. So, you can tell or you can introduce him as a great philosopher. So, a great philosopher is appositive here. So, Socrates, a great philosopher, lived in Athens. A great philosopher is appositive here. Usually, appositives are used to give introductory information. See here, Robert Bruce was a hard-working man. Who is Robert Bruce? You can give an introductory information about him. Robert Bruce, King of Scotland. He is Robert Bruce. So, King of Scotland will be an appositive here. So, your answer will be Robert Bruce was King of Scotland, was a hard-working man. I think you have understood what is appositive. Now see prepositional phrase. See the construction, how to make a prepositional phrase. We make prepositional phrase like in this way. We have to use a preposition at first. Then you have to use object for a preposition or suitable words after preposition. It will be very clear to you if you see this example. I saw 3 tigers. Use appositive phrase. Use prepositional phrase. So our answer can be, I saw 3 tigers in the safari park. Here in is preposition. The safari park is used here to make phrase. And in this phrase, this phrase starts with in. That's why this is called infinitive prepositional phrase. In is a preposition. That's why it is called a prepositional phrase. Here see, tell me the story. Use prepositional phrase. How we can complete the sentence? We can write it. Tell me the story about the dragon slayer. Here, about is preposition. The dragon slayer is used here to make it a phrase. And including the dragon slayer, it has been a prepositional phrase. So while you will be asked to use prepositional phrase, you have to write a preposition. After preposition, you have to write some more suitable words. So I think prepositional phrase is very clear to you. Now let us see adverbs. Adverbs are very important to understand modifiers. Here, adverbs are usually used as post modifier. Normally, adverbs are used as post modifier. According to functions, adverbs are different types. I am showing here the types of adverbs and their use in the sentences also. We shall now learn adverb of time. What is adverb of time? Any time indicating words are adverb of time. Now, then, soon, once, today, yesterday, weekly. All these adverbs are giving us idea about time. That's why they are called adverb of time. See, Samantha came here, use adverb. What I can use here in the gap? I can use here Samantha came here yesterday. So yesterday is giving us idea about the time when Samantha came. I can write here also last month. I can write here also last year. B number, I would take to come here. How can I complete the sentence what I can use in the gap? I can use in the gap an hour. Then the answer will be I would take an hour to come here. So an hour is giving us idea about the time and it has been adverb. In the question, you will not be asked to use adverb of time. You will be asked only to use adverb. And it is you who is to decide which adverb you have to use. But no need to mention it, the category of it. Just use the word adverb. So I think you have understood what is adverb of time. Now see, adverb of place. Here, there, inside, outside, upside, nearby, Uttara, Dhaka, France, London, all these words are giving us idea about a place. That's why these words are adverb of place. Adverb of place will tell you the place of action, where the action is done. See the example, I will stay in for 5 months. What I can use in the gap? I can use in the gap London. So I will stay in London for 5 months. Where I will stay? I will stay in London. So from the word London, I am getting the idea of, or I am giving the idea of the place where I will stay. So that's London here is adverb of place. B number, come. Use adverb. I can write here, here, here. Here is also place. So here is an adverb. So this is adverb of place. Now see, adverb of manner. How the actions are done. Adverb of manner will give us idea about how the actions are done. Usually, adverbs ending in ly are adverbs of manners. There are some exceptions also. See, slowly, lowly, there is ly, it is adverb of manner. Suddenly, ly, this is adverb of manner. Quickly, ly, this is adverb of manner. But here it is well, there is no ly. Yet it is adverb of manner because it will tell us how we are feeling, etc. See the example. James coughed to attract her attention. Use adverb. Which adverb I can use here? I can use here loudly. Then James coughed loudly to attract her attention. So loudly here is adverb of manner. How she coughed? She coughed loudly. So it is telling us the manner of her action. Of James' action. He swims in pond. What I can use in the gap? I can use in the gaps well or slowly. If I use slowly, then slowly will be adverb and modifier, and it will give us, or it is giving us idea about the manner of actions. I think by this time what is adverb of manner is very clear to you. Adverb of frequency. How often an action is done. Adverb of frequency means how repeatedly we are doing something. See the example. Sometimes, always, ever, never, often, occasionally, normally, usually. These are the adverbs, and there are many other adverbs which are used to show the repetition of actions. See the example. I forget my father's birthday. What I can write here? I can write here, I sometimes forget my father's birthday. Here, sometimes is giving us the idea about the frequency of time. That's why sometimes is an adverb, and it is in this sentence sometimes is a modifier. See here, my dentist told me I should floss twice. Use an adverb. What adverb I can use? I can use here daily also. So it will be, my dentist told me I should floss twice daily. So here daily, the word daily, the adverb daily gives us the idea about the frequency of action, and it is adverb, and technically it is modifier. I think what is adverb of frequency is very clear to you. Now, dear learners, now I shall show you adverb of degree. Adverb of degree: very, quite, rather, almost, hardly, barely, scarcely, terribly, true. All these adverbs are used as adverb of degree. There are thousands of adverbs which will give you idea about the intensity of an action. See the example. This cake is wonderful. I can use here adverb or adverb of degree, absolutely. So the answer will be, this cake is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely is here adverb of degree, and it is modifier. The temperature was above freezing. Here we can use barely. So barely is here adverb, and barely has been used here as an modifier. Our driveway is, use adverb frozen. Our driveway is frozen. We can use here completely. So completely adverb is giving us the idea about the intensity of degree, and complete here is modifier. My teacher is grumpy today. Here I can use terribly as a modifier, and it has been used here as a post modifier. So I think you have understood what is adverb of degree. So dear learners, we have come to the end of our class. I would like to, before leaving the class, I would like to remind you one thing, that if you do not practice modifier again and again, you will not get, your concept will not be clear. So to make your concept clear about modifier, you must practice it again and again. Go to your English second paper, and there are many model questions on grammar items. In the model questions, question number 9 is for modifier. Solve. Many practice. There are many questions on modifiers. Solve few questions. You will think that your idea, your concept about modifier will be very clear. Yet, if you do not understand any point or any topic or anything, you can consult with your teacher. Then he will help you, and your idea about modifier will be very clear. So remember, practice makes a man perfect. You must practice it again and again at home. So I would like to thank you all. Now stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.